we hear the words of war on terror 1,000 times a day, while no one talks of human rights and the terrorists by the bay.
And say, well, there are only a bunch of weirdos standing here speaking about the war in Iraq, speaking about the war in Iran, in Palestine, but in fact, people around the world are living in situations in war-ridden countries and are being undermined in their self-determination that every kind of people has, whether you're American, whether you're Japanese, whether you're Korean, whether you're Palestinian, whether you're Iraqi. And basically the Stop the War Coalition was set up in response to 9/11 when the World Trade Center were attacked. And now we see again such a situation taking place in Bombay, where basically there are attacks and people are desperate to find solutions to the thing. But we said at all times, war is not the solution. There is no such solution as war. The people can take it into their own hands, can determine their own lives, and that's what we stand for today. The thing is that the Iraq war was basically built upon lies, and I think we all know it, and it has been kind of the paradigm and the way that we have been growing up, that there is the continuous war, because nowadays, more than ever, war means peace, and without war we will never attain peace. And that's what the leaders of the world are saying to us. And we're saying enough is enough, no to the wars in Iraq, no to the wars in Afghanistan, no to the wars in Palestine, no to any war around the world. And what we have to be doing as students, as well as the students did in 1968, when the Vietnam War was taking place, was we're protesting, and a continuous protest swept the campuses of North America and of Europe. And I think what we have to build up today is exactly that same movement. Even though the war is far away and in faraway lands, we still can make a difference. I think it's stupid to say, oh well, Obama won't hear you anyway, Bush won't hear you anyway. But it is raising awareness on this campus about the issue of the war and uniting students around a common goal of stopping the war on terror. If we see what's been happening, George Bush is no longer the president, and even though it says no to Bush wars, the war is still imminent. And with Obama being elected, I don't think that the war will end that quickly. Barack Obama is just shifting his military strategy from Iraq, he's shifting it to Afghanistan. The Iraqis and the Americans signed a peace treaty which basically states that in 2011 all troops will have left Iraq. But where will the troops go? Barack Obama has stated that all the troops will be deployed to Afghanistan and to the northwestern border of Pakistan, and in a policy paper that was released in October by the Washington Post, basically it states that the war on Iran still could take place in January. And with the nomination of Dennis Ross, who has been working for IPAC, the very conservative Israeli lobby, the war seems very imminent at the moment. I think what we have to learn is that Obama is there to forge new coalitions between countries that have previously not been entered into the war on terror, and they can realign with old countries and re-strengthen those alliances that they have at the bottom. So Obama has this powerful movement behind him, and it is actually an anti-war movement, because if you look up the figures, how people elected Obama, 90% of all people who are against the war in America have voted for Obama. And you see the same correlation in respect to John McCain when he in the elections. So what are we doing here today? When we think of students, we think of, okay, they drink their pints, they go to their classes, but student life is much more, and the students need to start gathering around, holding speeches, holding rallies against the things that piss them off and endanger the world that is full of war. The problem of the anti-war movement at this current point in time is that there is no real enemy like George Bush any longer, because Obama has been elected. But the real enemy nowadays, I think, must be NATO, because NATO has been, for 60 years now, has been leading to war, leading to recessions, leading to dictatorships around the country. Because after the fall of the Soviet Union, NATO didn't have its role anymore against the communist bulwark. So what NATO did suddenly is go into Kosovo in 1999, and it was
So we sing like we've still got some hope, and we sing like we believe. Don't believe the lies, the hype, and don't believe in everything you read.